Okay, so we're hearing the term artificial intelligence absolutely everywhere, right? But what does it actually do? Let's forget the hype for a minute. Today, we're going to dive into how AI can become your most powerful tool for unlocking real, tangible productivity in your workday.
Let's just get real for a second. The average person spends over 2 hours a day buried in their inbox. Now, what if you had an AI that could draft your replies, summarize those impossibly long email chains, and just give you an hour of your life back every single day? That's not some far-off fantasy. That's the practical power we're talking about today.
So, how do we make sense of all this? Well, to guide us through this new world, we're looking at the framework from Complete Computing. These folks have been helping businesses get the most out of new tech since 1982. So believe me, when it comes to tech revolutions, they've definitely seen a thing or two. Let's see how they break it down.
You know, the best way to get our heads around this technology isn't with some complicated diagram. It's actually with a really simple but powerful idea. So let's start by meeting your new AI intern.
Yeah, forget all that abstract, complex tech talk. Just think of AI as the best intern you've ever had. It never gets tired, it never needs a coffee break, and it can read every single document your company has ever created in a split second to find the exact piece of information you need right when you need it. But here's a key distinction. Not all AI is created equal. You've probably heard generative AI thrown around a lot, so let's use a chef analogy. Traditional AI, it's like a chef who follows a recipe perfectly. It looks at the data and makes a prediction. But generative AI, that's like a creative master chef who tastes all the ingredients and invents a brand new dish right on the spot. It doesn't just analyze things, it creates things.
So to really get how that intern or chef actually works, we got to look under the hood a little. It all starts at the very top, with artificial intelligence itself. This is the big idea, the overall brain of the whole operation, designed to think and solve problems kind of like a human does.
Right, so if AI is the brain, then machine learning is how that brain gets smarter. It is literally the learning process. Think about a brand new salesperson. They might start out with a script, right? But with every single customer they talk to, they learn a little more about what actually works. That's machine learning in a nutshell.
And that brings us to the ground floor. Algorithms. These are the specific step-by-step instructions. They're the playbook that machine learning follows to sort through all that information and find the patterns that matter. So you've got the brain, the learning process, and the instructions. That's the core of it.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how do we take this general idea of an AI and turn it into an assistant that really understands your job, your projects? This is where Microsoft Copilot completely changes the game.
Copilot really has two secret weapons working together. First, it has an engine that helps it understand and write text that sounds like a person wrote it. That's a large language model, or LLM. But here's the real game changer, a secure bridge, the Microsoft Graph API that connects that powerful brain to all of your company's data, your emails, your documents, your meeting notes.
And this is so important to get. The LLM is what makes the AI sound human. But the Graph API is what makes it smart about your business. It's not just some random chatbot pulling facts off the internet. It's an assistant that actually understands the context of your work, your team, your projects. It becomes your AI.
And that difference becomes crystal clear when you put the big players side by side. ChatGPT, it has this huge, broad knowledge from the web. Gemini, it's really tuned in for search in Google's world. But Microsoft 365 Copilot is totally different. It is built inside the tools you already use every day, and it's the only one designed from the ground up to securely understand your specific company data.
All right, we know what Copilot is, we know why it's different, so how do we actually get it to do what we want? This brings us to probably the single most important skill you can learn for working with AI, the secret sauce of prompting.
I love this analogy because it's so true. Think of AI like a powerful genie, but it's a very literal genie. It can't read your mind. The quality of the amazing thing you get back depends completely on the quality of the wish or the prompt you give it. Vague wishes? You're going to get vague results.
Let's just walk through a real-world example here. A bad prompt is something like, write a marketing plan. It's just way too vague. A better prompt adds some details. Tell it the business type, what channels to focus on. But the best prompt? It does three crucial things. It gives the AI a role to play, act as a marketing consultant. It sets clear priorities, and it adds constraints like a word count. You're basically giving the genie a perfect map to the exact treasure you want.
And that right there is the whole secret. Honestly, the few extra seconds it takes you to write a great prompt will pay you back tenfold in the quality of the answer you get. Mastering the prompt is how you master the tool.
Okay, enough theory. Let's talk about putting this to work. What can you actually do with this stuff right now, today?
Just think about your work week. That awkward email you've been putting off? Tell Copilot in Outlook to draft a polite no for you. That dense legalese contract in Word? Ask it to rewrite the whole thing in plain English. Got a spreadsheet full of numbers in Excel? Ask it to analyze the data and create a pivot table. Or you could take a 50-page report and ask PowerPoint to create a 3-slide summary. Just like that.
So you've seen what's possible here, right? You've had a glimpse of how this tool can literally change your workday and free you up to focus on the stuff that really matters. The potential is massive. The only question now is, are you and your team ready to go from just knowing this exists to actually mastering it?
And look, that's really the gap we're talking about. The gap between potential and real-world performance. If you're ready to help your team actually unlock these benefits, this is where expert-led training from a group like Complete Computing comes in. They help turn your organization's potential into real day-to-day productivity.